So what do you do if you're struggling in your job search? There's a lot of people that are wondering, I've sent out my applications, I've done everything that I can, I don't know what to do, I'm hitting a brick wall. What do you do if you start struggling in the job search? We're gonna talk about that here in this video. How do we really just, erase this, get rid of that, and how do we replace it with job search success? Okay? And that's what everybody wants to know, is how do we get to success? Now, when it comes to your job search, there's two parts of this. You're either networking to find your way into a position, or you're using your resume and you're applying to different companies across the different job boards like LinkedIn, or using Indeed, or using Monster, and there's a lot of different sites out there. But one thing I would encourage you to do is, number one, is you really need to get an outside perspective on your resume. Find somebody, and it could be us at Hired&Co, it could be somebody in your local community, in the city where you live, to look at your resume, because 9 times out of 10, most people don't know that they're using literally a resume that is not, that is just simply, it's not effective. It's a resume that really can't generate the results that you're looking to create in your career search. And so if you're struggling in your job search and you're not getting that success you want, more than likely it's hinging on your resumes. If you're not getting phone calls, if people aren't reaching back out to you to set up phone interviews or in-person interviews, it's because your resume is more than likely just not that effective right now. It doesn't showcase your value. And your resume, it's really got to be formatted properly. And I made a recent video that was really all about showing what a knockout resume looks like versus what most people send out to different companies, which is, like a C grade resume. If you're gonna get the replies and get that career success, your resume has got to be a diamond. It's got to be beautiful. It's got to be formatted properly. It's got to speak value the moment that a recruiter or hiring manager reads it. And they only look at it for about 6-7 seconds, maybe 2 to 3 seconds. People are judging a book by its cover. The old saying, don't judge a book by its cover. People are judging you big time, big, when it comes to your resume. They're saying, is this person smart? Is this person, do they have the competencies? Are they going to be the perfect fit for this role? Am I going to look good by recommending this person to the hiring manager? There is so much focus that goes onto this resume, and it's basically like if you were to go into a Barnes & Noble, or if you're going on to Amazon, or you're picking up a book in the airport, if the cover looks all jacked up, are you going to want to read that book? No. You're just going to be like, well, I'm not going to buy that book. I'm not even going to look at that book. I'm not going to pay that book any attention. I'm going to go on to this book over there that looks really nice. I love the cover. Wow, this looks like an interesting story to read. That is you. So your resume really has to be in order. It's got to look good. It's got to represent you in the right way. And it really has to touch on your core competencies relevant to the position that you're applying to. So job search success, number one, it's all about the resume. Second is you really need to, you don't want to go broad, okay? And so many people will get in an area of desperation. They're like, well, I'm just going to go apply to all these different positions, and it doesn't matter if they're a good fit, I'll just go out there and try to just flood the market with my resume. And while I do recommend applying to a lot of positions, if you're going for positions that are not a match for you, okay, then it's not going to work. If you're a product manager and you're trying to apply for, this is kind of far-fetched, but an engineering position, or if you're a product manager and you're trying to apply for something that's an e-commerce director or a digital marketer position, that's going to be a stretch. So know your strengths, okay? Know your strengths and know what you want too. This is crucial, because when you get on the phone with a recruiter or hiring manager and they're like, so what are you looking for right now? People want to know that you're very specific in what you're looking for, that you know yourself, you know what you're great at. And when somebody gets on the phone, they're like, yeah, I'd really take anything at this point. That's like a toxic thing to say to any recruiter. They're just gonna be like, whoa, yeah, thanks, but no thanks. It's really, and I can't be any more like real and honest about that. That's what I'm trying to do, because if you want to get success, recruiters, they want to know that you know what your strengths are. They want to know that you know what you want, because when you bring that level of clarity and certainty and self-awareness into their company, then they know that they're really speaking, communicating with somebody who's going to be effective. And these are all just telltale signs. So know what your strengths are, know what you want. And one of the third things that I'm going to just talk about here for a minute is your LinkedIn profile. If you don't have a LinkedIn profile, I'll put that up here because I think I might be losing room going down. But number 3 is beyond LinkedIn, but it's not just that, is be visible. Is be visible and have a brand. Because if they can't find you, they just have your resume and they can't find you on LinkedIn, and you don't have a Facebook page, and you're like, I'm good, I don't need to do all that, I'm not with like the internet, like that's cool, that's fine. But if they can't find you and you're not that visible of a candidate, they're like, I don't know, this guy's like off in the woodwork somewhere, that's not a good look. So you definitely want to be on LinkedIn, be found, be highly branded on LinkedIn. That's just a little tip there. Because so many people don't have that LinkedIn profile, and it's like, is this person living back in the Stone Age or in like the 1960s? Excuse me. So be visible and be really well branded on LinkedIn. And somebody just reached out to me this week from a big .com company. They're like, hey, listen, we've seen the videos that you've done. We know where you're at. We love you in terms of, considering you for this role. And we think you do a great job. Do you want to have a conversation? And I was like, I'm not going to have a conversation because I'm doing this. But I appreciate that interest. But it was all from having that LinkedIn profile. And when you've got people chasing you, that's the best thing that you can have, is when it comes to creating this type of success, is to not have to be reaching out to people and saying, hey, look at me. But having it come full circle, because you have that brand and because you've got visibility, you start funneling people into you. And maybe you have a YouTube channel, maybe you don't. But I'm just illustrating that as a great tool to create more of that success for you. And are you a thought leader in whatever you do? How visible are you? Definitely have a LinkedIn profile. Number 4, and this is a huge technique, is just knowing this, okay? And hopefully you can read this. This is a numbers game. Job search success, it's not like, well, I'm just going to apply to 3 positions today and let me go get a towel and just kind of, towel myself off. There's no way that you're just going to be able to apply to just 3 positions and then just get every single phone call, get 3 phone calls back. It doesn't work that way. So if you're not applying to like 30 to 50 positions a day, then you're not going to get the numbers back that you need to create job search success. Now, and I literally mean that. You need to be sending out 40 to 50 applications a day, okay? And just giving you an example here is, if I go out and I knock on doors and I'm selling, let's say, telephone books, so let's say I'm selling cookies, I could be selling anything, right? If I go and knock on just 2 doors and I'm like, hey, my name's Steve, I'm selling cookies today, they're great, they're not GMO, they're organic, I've got chocolate chip cookie, I've got peanut butter, I've got Oreo, and I've got, Thin Mint. I knock on 2 doors. The first guy's like, no, I'm okay. The next house, my mom's at home right now. Boom, boom, door is closed. Am I just gonna be like, okay, well, I'm just gonna go back home now, and I guess nobody wants to buy cookies. Nobody's gonna buy cookies out there, shucks. No, if I go and knock on that whole neighborhood and I go through about 40 to 50 houses or 100 houses, am I gonna eventually get somebody to buy some cookies from me? Absolutely, because I'm playing the numbers game. And so out of that, out of 100 houses, how many people are gonna call me, or how many people are gonna buy those cookies from me? Probably about 40 to 50, probably like 4 or 5 people, okay? So I just know that, statistically speaking, that's what's gonna happen if I reach out to 100 houses. Now, when it comes to your job search, if you're applying 40 to 50 times, 40 to 50 different jobs a day, you will get people calling you back. Do this for a week and I guarantee your phone's gonna be blowing up. Granted that you've got a great resume. So, and you might be saying, well, Steve, it takes a long time to do these applications. Not if you know what you're doing. You can literally apply to a company within about 2 seconds if you're doing it right and you're using the right strategies and the right methods. But this is a numbers game. You've got to basically get your resume in order, know your strengths, know what type of position you want, have your LinkedIn profile in check, and then just start blasting resumes. You use your inside referrals and network too. But if you're only applying to like 1 or 2 positions a day, you're doing like 5, it's not enough. You've got to really get the numbers up. So take these things into account. Resume, get more narrow. And there's like if you're a digital product manager, there's a lot of those positions out there on the marketplace right now. So you can easily find that and blow through like 40 or 50 applications in a couple hours. And that's what's going to lead to success. A lot of the time, it's really number 1 and number 4 that I see people, they're just not utilizing properly. Now, if you want more help with this, you can reach out to us at www.hiredandco.com. Give us a call. We also have coaches from Fortune 500 companies, people who can help you in your career search. We've also got some great courses and programs where you can hear from people like the vice president of Facebook, the vice president of Google, the vice president of Citigroup, and how they recommend going about your career search right now and the tips and strategies that they've used. So this is how to create job search success. If you're struggling, start using these methods and use all of these different points that I'm talking about here, and you'll start getting that success in your job search.